All right, welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is your host, Mark Redman, coming to you from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Menders. And Menders, how are we doing today?
We're doing pretty good. It's been quite a week. I
It
got all my
has,
wrestling watched this morning.
and there was plenty.
There was. Actually, I
Yes,
think that I'm actually most excited about tonight's NXT show, honestly. I'm recording it cuz I don't want to miss any
yeah,
of it.
there's some good stuff on there.
There is some good stuff happening tonight. What are you doing?
One of my top 10 pictures didn't upload. I'm just retrieving it real quick
Ah,
here.
gotcha.
I was trying to do it before we went live, but no such luck.
Well, at least your video's working tonight. I'm proud of you for that.
Yeah.
Cuz normally it decides to be a butthead.
Yeah, it tried when I first started, when I first went live, when I turned my computer on, because I had to do a complete reset on my computer, which is always fun, passwords and everything. But and then when I got
Oh,
into the
wow.
StreamYard, it was trying to be a douche again.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. All right, but we got a good one today, Menders. We have a special guest going to be joining us here in a little bit. One Jack Victory. Uh, ECW
Ooh.
fans, UWF fans, NWA fans might recognize him from back in the day when wrestling was king, as they say. Uh,
Yeah. Back in the good old days.
yes, because I know there's some guys, especially some guys that he worked with that I want to pick his brain about. But before he gets in, because we got a little bit of time, our favorite unhinged wrestling promoter has been added today, Menders.
Okay. Yeah, let's show
And
what this idiot's been up to today.
well, first there was this.
I think he's been sitting on that couch a little too long in the back again. What are you wearing? What are you Oh my goodness. Oh my You wore it better.
I was gonna say, do I wear it better?
You
I'm
wear
gonna
it
need
better.
this hat in about a week.
Yeah,
But
you will.
yeah, I was debating whether to have the ear flaps down for this. I can't do this very long because I can't see shit through these glasses. But just
Oh, you got to look in the chat when you take the glasses off.
yeah. Oh boy. All
Yeah,
right.
you need to look in the chat when you take the glasses off.
Would you remove turn that to the tree, please? Thank you.
Our favorite,
Favorite unhinged
AJ.
wrestling. Uh, well, favorite living unhinged wrestling promoter. Oh, hey, Narge is in the chat, smacking his head at my
Narge.
ridiculousness. I saw Narge
Yeah.
over the weekend.
Yay.
Had a little hangout over at Marco's house on Saturday, and some good times were had. But like you were
Good.
saying, Tony's worst enemy is Twitter. It seems like these days, Menders.
Somebody needs to take his phone away.
Yeah, it's yeah. First off, now it got announced that Hook is challenging Joe for the AEW Heavyweight Championship. I don't mind. That's fine. You know, it's a TV match probably. It's no big deal. It's gonna probably be a decent match. I think Joe will get a good match out of him. And then for
I
those
think
that
Joe's
watched
going to
Raw last
squash
night,
him, but okay.
I don't probably, but Joe likes Taz though, so I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe he'll work with Hook.
Okay.
That's the sticking point. Veterans not working with the young guys and really working with them. That's what Copeland was saying on Busted Open today, talking about working with Griff Garrison. He wanted to get a 5 minute match out of him instead of a squash,
Ah,
just because he
okay.
wanted to actually work with him. But anyway, last night on Raw, they announced Seth Rollins is going to defend the world title next week against Jinder Mahal. You know, again, kind of a throwaway title defense. You know, they're not. Seth doesn't have much going on until after the Rumble.
Right.
So, it's good to keep him in the ring, get him some reps. Jinder had a really good heat segment last week with The Rock.
Sure
Uh,
did.
laugh, I laughed my ass off when he started reciting the national anthem in Punjabi and got the fans to boo their own national anthem.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, happens.
Yep. Yeah, Nurse Hook and Joe, the new Taz versus Bam Bam. Well, I
All
hope they
right,
don't
we'll
go
go
through the
for it.
ring though.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I, s- I still think they can have a good match. I've been impressed by Hook for the most part. They stuck him with Jack Perry for too long, but
That's
it's neither here nor
yeah,
there.
right.
Jungle Jack,
But
as they say.
anyway, let's get
But
to our
any,
point.
but anyway, okay. So they announced. Have we flown off the rails already? It's only been 6 minutes.
I
Uh,
know, we're good at that.
yes. So after they announced this match, then Tony hopped on the old Twitter machine, and this is what he wrote: double standard : I don't think he knows what that means. Hook 28-1 career record on winning streak calls out the champ. That's not even a real sentence. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Who's been pissed about Hook challenging Joe? I haven't seen it.
I haven't either, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Well, he continues. Jinder has literally lost every single match he's in for the past year. Immediately gets title shot. Where is the rage? The rage, sir, is because Jinder can actually get heat,
Right.
unlike most of the heels on Tony's show. The only heel they had that can get heat right now is Christian.
Yes. And he can get
No,
heat
Cardinal
easily.
with it. Yes, because he's a great heel.
Yes.
And then the only other one that could get heat is MJF, but they neutered him and made him a laughing stock with
Yeah.
this whole devil fiasco. AJ, also what I heard in regards to TK's hat, it was Tony Storm's hat that she gave him to wear for the scrum. I did hear that. But then he
Oh,
kept it
jeez.
on when they were asking him about safety in the workplace and sexual harassment. And just ludicrous.
Okay. Okay.
So if that wasn't enough, apparently I didn't see the tweet that started this from Eric Bischoff, but I do have his response. AJ sent this over to us today. Uh, Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been. I don't know if Bischoff's a guy you want to make
Okay.
enemies out of if you're Tony Khan.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
No.
all right.
I mean, Bischoff, you can say what you want about Bischoff. He's done more for wrestling than Tony has so far. I
True.
mean, I haven't agreed with most of it, but since seats, for example, not the best idea.
Right.
Which we didn't even talk about that last week. That last Thursday was the anniversary of the Finger Poke of Doom.
Ugh.
25 years ago.
Ugh.
Can't believe it's been 25 years since that happened. But yeah, Tony, he needs a minder. That's all I can say. I'm not saying he needs a babysitter. He needs somebody to just monitor his social media usage. I don't know how many times you see him tweeting about Star Wars on TNT and then how Collision's coming up afterwards or Dynamite's coming up afterwards, and it's ludicrous. I mean, I'm all for a guy promoting his TV show, but to the point of repetition is just dumb.
So, how much is Danielson going to fine him? Shouldn't that be? I mean,
the money goes to Tony anyway, so is there really a point?
It's true. No, not really.
No.
But yeah, somebody just needs to take Twitter away from Tony. Tony needs somebody that he can bounce ideas off of and somebody say yes or no. Like,
I mean,
it could even be.
Look at who all he has. He's got Jake Roberts. He had Arn Anderson at his disposal. Dean Malenko's there.
But again, it's kind of like the wrestler said, or what you said. Copeland said he wanted to have a 5-minute match with Garrison. He wanted to work with him. So what if Tony doesn't really want to work and listen to what the guys have to say?
You mean
that's the only thing at this. Yeah, the good God, yes, that guy. But that's the only logical reason I can think of. But again, we're talking Tony Khan, so logic kind of goes out the window. But that's the only logical thing I can see where he's not utilizing people like Dean Malenko. He's not utilizing Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn's a great example of that.
Just throw It's kind of like
I
they
mean,
always said that, to bring up Vince Russo, he had a bunch of
ugh.
ideas that he threw at the wall. But at least Vince was there to say, yes, no, that might work. We'll try, but then it's dead if it doesn't work. He just
What
needs
happened
somebody
when Vince
like
went to WCW?
exactly. That he needs a bottleneck. He needs somebody to let him
hmm
channel his energy more focused.
He needs a Bruce Pritchard, but he doesn't have one yet.
Yeah.
To an extent.
To an extent.
I mean, Vince listened to Bruce,
Yeah.
but
Bruce was
doesn't
always
mean he
kind
always
of a
did what he
yes man, though,
suggested.
too. I was going to say.
Yeah, sure, but he also Bruce is a guy. He's been all over the territory. He worked for Paul Bosch since he was like 10 years old. Worked for Watts,
Right.
so he knew about all that stuff, and he was on the booking team back in the day. That's neither here nor there. But back to Tony, Mr. Electricity, as we call him, 2.0. Uh, yeah, he's it's. Did you watch the media scrum after the pay-per-view?
No.
See, you usually do. I was hoping you had.
Okay.
He
I,
has become
I,
the king of the non-answer.
oh, I already knew that.
I mean, it's getting
He's,
worse.
but he's always done that. Always. And
Okay,
everything's great.
AJ, Bruce's whole podcast is saying I can't comment on that for 2 hours. There's some though that are really good. The one he did on Houston wrestling was really good. There's some of the biography ones that they do on specific wrestlers. But anyway, I'm just putting that out there. Uh, every time they would ask him about, uh, well, they tried not. Well, they mentioned Jericho. They didn't say the other parties involved, and I will do the same because no reason to drag people's names into
Allegedly.
this, but allegedly, yeah,
Allegedly.
yeah. But every time they'd ask him a question about it, he would just go on a friggin' 15-minute filibuster about the
How great the
science
show's
of
doing.
booking and how great the show's doing. I listened to the corny drive-through, and they were covering the media scrum, and they played clips of it, and yeah, it's just ludicrous.
Was this the one where they dinged a bell every time he said great? Or was that
That
the
was last week,
previous
but they
one?
are still. That was the previous one, but they're still doing it now. I think it's an ongoing trope now on the podcast.
I laugh
But
so hard every time.
yeah, and every time they ask about it, Tony says it's the safest wrestling company in the world, and he'll hold their safety record up against anybody, even though people have they've never had a full roster of non-injured people since the company started.
That's what I was thinking. It was like every time they start to do something, especially with who was it that used to always get hurt? Was it Martin? It wasn't Dante. It was the other one, the Martin from Top Flight.
Darius Martin.
Isn't he the one that's been hurt forever?
Yeah,
I think he's back now.
Every time he comes off the injury list, he gets hurt again. He's back now.
Yeah. We'll see how long. AJ.
What did he say? There you go. Yeah. Tony Storm actually did make a challenge to Wendy Richter during the media scrum, so she's kind of just going balls out on this gimmick.
I love it. Okay.
Although it should be pointed out that Tony appears to have a new challenger now after last Wednesday, when Deonna Purrazzo showed up, and seems like she's made a challenge. So I'll tell you what, she's going to be a great pickup for that women's division if they use her right.
There's your problem.
Yeah.
If they use her right, because I'll tell you what. Okay, speaking of last Wednesday, we may as well jump into it. Mariah May and
don't get too deep into it because I believe our guest has arrived. So
oh, well, then we don't.
You want to put a pin in this?
Yeah, we can put a pin in that.
All right, let's put a pin in this and bring our guest in. I'm very excited about this because I've been watching him for a long time. So say hello to Jack Victory. Hello, sir. How you doing?
Hello, my friends. How are you?
Great.
Oh, we're not doing too bad.
Very cool.
Yeah, you told me this afternoon there's going to be kind of a tricky situation for you. I'm glad we were able to make it work.
I got stuck in Jacksonville, Florida. I normally pick my loads up there, and I'm able to go home. But we had some bad storms roll through Florida, and everybody at the docks went home. So I got to pick it up in the morning. So I'm stuck here. So
Mm.
Ugh.
you got me in my truck.
It's all right.
That's all right.
It's not the worst
It's like I
place
told
we've
you, it's
caught
not the.
somebody yet.
Gotcha.
This is true. We got a guy on our other pod that does his from the woods. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's living his gimmick. But anyway, we're glad we can make it work. Like I was saying, I've been a fan of yours since mostly from ECW because I didn't get
Okay.
the UWF, all that stuff on my TV in the
You
sticks in
probably
Illinois
weren't even
for
born,
when I
were
was a
you?
kid.
I mean, good God.
Uh, I'm a little older than you think. I was about, I don't know, I was born in '81, so it was very early in my fandom when you showed up and were
Yeah,
doing the
yeah, I
thing. And
broke in around 82. I didn't go to Watts until probably 83, I think, maybe 84. Yeah.
okay,
I started local in New Jersey in 82 as soon as I got out of high school. So that's where it all started.
Okay.
so in my research, is it true you were self-trained?
It is true. Yeah. Everybody can't really believe that, but right out of high school, I met up with a local promotion in Easton, Pennsylvania, and Eddie Miranda, DC Drake was there. A bunch of good
Okay,
talent was there, and they they let me open up the card and just learn, that way. And you know what? It's in your blood, Um, when you watch it so much as I did, you know what I mean? You almost
yeah.
know the moves if you just do them. Hell, I did them most of the time in high school. To my classmates. They hated my guts.
Sounds like how much we watch wrestling, doesn't it, Red?
Yeah. I
We
mean,
watch a
so
Just
lot.
about.
yeah, yeah. So the answer to the question is yeah. I never went to a wrestling school. Um, what I broke in Mid South, and you worked 8 shows a week there, and so you learned how to wrestle really quick, especially with the talent that was there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've in the last well, since I was around the senior year of high school is when I first started really getting to check out the Mid South stuff from back in the '80s because I knew all the names from whether they went
Right,
afterwards, but then you see Ted DiBiase when he was in the Rat Pack. You got Duggan before he was the big Patriot character and all that. But
right,
what when I got to the UWF stuff, that's when I first started seeing like Eddie Gilbert and John Tatum and yourself.
right.
So that's a guy who I was always curious about. I don't know a whole lot about John Tatum. Talk about him because I know you teamed up with him for a long time back
Yeah,
then.
me and Johnny was my funnest partner. He he never kept things boring. Let's put it that way. Johnny lived his gimmick 24/7, and it was quite a ride. We had fun. We had fun together.
What was one?
Yeah,
Okay, were you guys ribbers in the back?
Um, at that age, no. ECW when I was just an old coot in with a bunch of young dudes. Yeah, I ribbed a lot there.
I'm just curious. What were some of your best ones that you remember?
Oh God, CW. He just the thought of can I curse or can I?
Oh, you can
oh
do
yeah,
whatever you want to.
yeah,
You're good.
I mean,
absolutely.
if he would just take a whiff of shit, he would just start dry heaving. So we put a candy bar in Tommy Dreamer's ass cheeks. Uh,
Oh, jeez.
when he was rolling back from the ring, and he went, Francine, I think I shit myself. So Franny went down into his trunks and pulled out this Hershey bar, and CW just started heaving in the middle of the locker room.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Oh
and
wow.
Oh, it was a classic. Yeah, it was a classic.
Oh, that's good. I like that one.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a good one.
Yeah, yeah. CW was brunt of a lot of my jokes. Poor guy. I love him to death. I just saw him in North Carolina, so we uh we had a drunken weekend during WrestleCade, so it was pretty cool.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes. So
He just turned
you mentioned,
53 a couple of days ago, so
Oh
happy
wow.
is
birthday,
that right?
CW. Yeah.
Wow, happy birthday, yeah. So yeah, that's when I got started getting ECW in about '99. Again, saying I can't get the East Coast channel, so when they got on TNN, that's when I first started really getting to watch it on a regular basis. And
Right.
and we had Just Incredible on here a couple months ago, and we asked him because the first episode I saw was the night the Sandman came back before November to Remember,
Okay.
and I had to ask him about just the energy in the building because it seemed like on TV like that ECW arena was going to just blow apart from the reaction of the
Yeah,
crowd.
I mean, I've wrestled in a lot of buildings and in front of a lot of people, and you would ECW never ran. Well, we ran some big buildings, but it was always medium-sized buildings with good acoustics, and it, that night it was probably one of the loudest reactions that I witnessed. And hell, I've been around a long time and saw a lot of buildings, saw a lot of reactions. And that was probably one of, like I said, probably one of the loudest pops uh, that I can recall.
Did you see our comment in the chat there, Reb?
Oh yeah,
AJ's pretty
buddy
excited
AJ.
about that rib too.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have
afraid
a
we're giving
group
him
of us.
ideas.
I was going to say, we have a group of us that there's about 5 of us that have been true wrestling fans back when kayfabe was still alive.
Oh yeah, I
So
I love those days.
they're our
It's
favorite too.
yeah.
So
A
how
couple stories with Bill Watts is that if you were a heel and a baby face was in a restaurant and you walked in the door and saw a baby face, you had to turn around and leave. You couldn't eat
yeah.
in the
Oh,
same
wow.
restaurant. One of his rules was if you started or you were in a bar fight, you better win or I'm going to fire you. He was really protective of the wrestling business. So if you go out and you go and have a good time and party, but if it ends up in a bar fight, you better win. So yeah, so it was pretty cool. And back then our dressing rooms were separate.
Yeah.
We had a heel dressing room and a babyface dressing room, so there was none of this kissy kissy. Let's go over our match and look like robots out there type thing. You know what I'm saying?
Are you frustrated with the current product?
They look like robots. They really do. It's like, what do I do next? Instead of, I wish they would maybe go over the matches like they need to because it's so high flying nowadays. But I wish they would call the match during the match. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Call it in the
I
ring
think
kind
if
of thing.
yeah, if I think if they would call it in the ring, even though they went over it 20 minutes in the back, um,
Mhm.
I think it would just gyrate a little bit better because man, you just look at it and he or she's like this, waiting for them to throw a close and then duck. Instead
Mhm.
of the move prior is, I get up, I duck, boom, something like that.
Right.
That's my only feedback on that.
Yeah.
We're
That's the
I'm a
there's
big
always a lot of
I'm a
waiting.
yeah, there's a lot of waiting.
A lot of waiting, dude. It's like, okay, you're next. Like, okay, shit. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, the heels called the match, and you know, you took pride in it. You took pride
Yeah.
in getting the baby face over. You know that was your job. The job was to go out there and call a kick-ass match. And nowadays it's just all cram
Yeah.
together a 20-minute match. I can't remember how I laced my boots up, let alone what I'm supposed to do 20 minutes down in a match. God bless them. I think I think they should go over it, but still call it in the
Yeah.
ring. I really do.
I miss action and reaction. That's my
Yeah.
biggest. I miss the reaction that you get from legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, AJ,
So
one of our friends in the chat. For me, it's when someone's going to dive to the outside and the opponent just stands there like an idiot waiting for the dive instead of
I
getting
know
out of the
instead of
way.
you turning around or go sideways and you'll see him out of the corner of your eye, then you can spin into it. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go.
Like instead of okay, come on,
Catch me.
I'm waiting for you.
oh, goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Some of that crap it's crazy, but
yeah.
that's how it's never going to go back. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Pretty soon they're not going to be able to hit the ropes. They're just going to have to do high flying crap.
I hope not. I hope not.
Me either. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
where's the pick up the chair and lay somebody out across the forehead anymore, right?
well,
I mean,
either that or
Yeah.
I'm more of a. We love our Haas fights here. So we want to
Yes.
see big meaty men slapping meat. That's what we want to see.
yeah, yep.
I think there's a place and a time for the high flying spots, but I don't think you need to have it everywhere
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
time.
Bill Watts, the first three matches, you couldn't really do high spots
Yeah.
during the matches way back in the day. You know what I mean? He got to one point where the first match wasn't allowed to touch the ropes. You had to do wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. I said, I'm
Wow.
too fat and out of shape to do that. So put me second.
Oh, wow.
I am not a wrestler,
Wow.
Bill Watts. I am not a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
With Watts, the thing was it never bothered me. I know he always gets a lot of grief for the whole no moves off the top rope rule he used to have going on both in Mid South and in WCW. But I heard him explain it once where he said it was psychology. He said he liked when they did it, but it had to make sense to where the referee
it had to
wasn't
make
looking
sense.
or wait
Yeah.
till
If
yeah.
everybody went flying over the top ropes, off the top ropes from the opening, it had to build up. That's why you had a main event back then. Nowadays, the main event's
Mhm.
first match. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, that's okay, great.
Yeah. What are we going to see the rest of this show? Yeah.
So
We get that a
That's
lot.
something we talked
We're
about.
yeah. But I mean, they're still selling buildings out, man. They're putting 90,000
Well, yeah.
people in stadiums. So
Yeah.
who am I? I am just a retired wrestler that drives a truck now. So who am I?
Well, you're somebody to us. So there you go.
Well, that's cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. But I like the old days. I did. I do, and
Yeah.
I still, I'm just probably an old, bitter wrestler. But
Eh,
the older days, when Dusty made those comebacks, man, there was nothing better. Nothing
yeah.
better.
Yeah. I love
So
Dusty. Oh
yeah,
man. So I want to get into ECW. We got a lot of our crew are big ECW fans, and I got to ask about when did they decide to put you with Carino? Because you two together made such a great act. I thought
now
that
this is
it
a
just
true
it just
story.
clicked.
Everybody, and I just heard about this maybe 5 years ago from Carino. Carino had a lot of heat in the back. A lot of guys didn't like him. So Paulie goes, I got to protect this kid because he's really good talent. I'm going to put him with Jack so no one beats his ass. For real. So that's basically, when I blew my knee out, I broke my knee. It was perfect timing for me to, hook up with him and we had a great run. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. But that's the reason.
Man,
Paulie
yeah.
wanted me to protect him from nobody attacking him.
You got any
You
good
got that
stories about
wheelchair over though.
Polly? Justin gave us some real good stories about Polly. You got any good
Yeah,
stories about Polly?
not really. I mean, we
Okay.
never really hung out outside the business.
Gotcha.
He always had his own little clique, and I always had my own little clique, and we never really clicked together. You know,
Gotcha.
it was always work, and go our separate ways.
It's amazing how some
Although,
people can not do that anymore, which is
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but
yeah, they don't even
Now, Minders,
socialize
I don't.
anymore.
yeah.
Yeah.
What, Red?
Minders, I don't know if you know this, but Jack was actually in the match with the Midnight Express at was it Chi-Town Rumble, Jack? When
Yeah,
it was
Shout Turn Rumble. Yeah, I actually
you and
worked
Randy
twice
Rose
that
against
night.
Midnights.
Yeah, yeah, I actually worked twice that
Oh
night.
yeah,
They,
Russian Assassin
I
number
was the
two, right?
Russian assassin against Michael Hayes,
Oh, jeez.
Hmm.
and then they go pull the hood off and put your other clothes on. You're gonna go out with Midnight. I'm like, God damn, okay. But but to
Mister,
that
I'm not
but
a wrestler.
but to that day, that was my biggest payoff was that one night. So
We're
now
Yeah,
what I
'cause
made and what they make now is like laughable, but to back then it was a pretty good payoff.
yeah.
Almost it was
yeah.
almost $8,000 for that night. So that was
So
back then it was pretty good money.
was it just that Condrey no showed, or was it did they know he wasn't going to be
I
there?
don't. I think it had. I don't know. I honestly I can't. I can't spit anything out because I don't know. I know he just didn't show up. I don't know if it was contract disputes or pissed off at somebody. I never got the answer. I'm just ready to go out there and be one of the Midnight Express for the night.
There you go.
Very nice,
Yeah, it was
very
We're
pretty
nice.
fun.
big corny fans here, so
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, he's a great guy, man. Jimmy, what a character.
yeah,
yes.
we enjoy listening to him rib on the business now, which is kind of
Damn,
fun. So,
can he rap or what?
But
I
oh
mean,
my
you could
god,
just
oh yeah,
literally just hit the record button and just sit back and just let him roll because he
oh
can
yep,
roll
oh
and
yeah.
roll and roll and talk and talk and you're like, the podcast has been over for a half hour. You want to shut up? That
nope,
that type of thing. Yeah, he's got a gift for gab, man.
he does,
Yes.
he does.
And everything he says seems to make sense too when especially when he's critiquing the product
Yeah,
across
he's
the
no
board.
dumb person to the business. He knows the business.
No,
He really does. He
yeah.
he knows what gets over and what doesn't get over and what stinks and what does not stink. So he's got a very good insight.
There's lots of things we agree with him. There are some things we disagree with him, but I know that's a lot of how he
This-
came through the business. So
Right.
we're like, okay,
right.
that's fine. We understand.
So one thing I did want to ask you about, Bushwhacker Luke just had a birthday, I think yesterday, and I know you were the flag bearer for the sheep herders, if I remember right,
That is
back in
correct.
the
Yes.
late '80s. And this
Yep.
is the sheep herders, not the bushwhackers. So you were there when they were at their craziest, when they were going with
Yeah,
the
I
Fantastics
was a
and
young pup back
what have
then.
you.
Yeah, I was that was my first really push um going from, second, third, semi main, sometimes with Terry Taylor and all that stuff, to being thrown in with the sheep herders, going from first second match to main event status where those guys main evented everywhere they went, and then Bill Watts came up with a great idea of a barbed wire cage match, and that cheap bastard he came out with a wooden one with barbed wire all over it. Have you ever seen those? He he
Oh,
he
Uh,
built it out of 2x4s, cheap
uh-huh.
bastard. And
I
and we toured the Fantastics, and oh god, I just said his name. Anyway, it was me and Butch and Luke against the Fantastics and Tommy Taylor.
Terry
oh,
Taylor.
Terry.
And
Yeah.
yeah, Terry Taylor. And Bill goes, "Oh, that got over great. It's the first cage match on TV. We're gonna bring this all the way around the whole territory." I was like, "Oh,
Oh,
great."
boy.
Yeah. Oh boy, your 2x4. You know, yeah. Have you ever seen those tapes? Go back and look at the. Go back and check it out. It's made out of wood.
Oh jeez.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
jeez.
gonna have to look for that now.
Yeah, I
But
can I can
Yeah,
see you
just
being all
just
yeah.
just do sheep herders, Jack Victory, barbed wire cage match, and it will come up as a wooden cage. Embarrassing.
oh my god. So working with the sheep herders, that's what got you in with Rip Morgan. Am I right? When you started
That
doing
is correct.
the
That
royal family
Butch and
stuff?
Rip was Butch's uncle. So yeah, they were related, and they did a lot of stuff together in Puerto Rico and stuff like that. And we hooked up in ECW, and we had a blast. Also, Rip was he was really a tough bastard, and really a really good guy, real good guy. The only
Oh
reason he
dear Lord.
left,
It is a
the
2x4. I
yeah,
just looked it
did
up.
you look it up?
I
Yeah,
just looked it up.
friggin' cheap ass, made out of 2x4s.
Holy crap.
Mm.
I'll send you the link, Reb.
We have to, yeah, we have to put that on the Facebook page after the
Yeah,
show's over.
yeah. That was
Oh my
that
god.
was the so-called first ever barbed wire cage or wood match, we'll call it
Cheap
on
bastard.
TV. Yeah, cheap bastard. There it
Oh
is. Look at
wow,
that.
there it
Look at
is.
that.
Wow.
Look at that cheap bastard.
Ooh.
So yeah,
There's
we went
another
around.
promoter.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's another promoter around here that we try to keep his name off the show just because he doesn't have the best reputation. But he
Right.
had another one that had basically it was 2x4s, but it wasn't quite that sturdy. To put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, at
Basically
least this
just
one was
part
kind of sturdy. You know,
right.
a couple times Bobby was able to go all the way to the very top and jump off of it. So it was pretty
Right.
sturdy, but it was
Yeah.
still laughable.
Yeah. Man.
The barbed wire was real though.
Yeah. Well.
See, we actually got to have drinks with one of the bushwhackers last year. We went to a
Yeah.
expo and got to have
Okay,
drinks with them. So,
you had so
Yeah.
Luke,
Luke
yeah,
was
Luke,
there.
yeah,
yep, Luke was there.
Luke, that crazy old bastard's still working, man. I mean, he is unbelievable. I mean, it is it's I saw him at Bobby Fulton's
Yeah.
match up in Ohio. Um, Bobby puts on a really good show up there. I think he probably puts it on 2 or 3 times a year, and they had me come up for one of them, and it was a good time. And they had 5,000 people in a college gym, so they can draw some they draw some people.
Somebody else just saw the cage.
Yeah, yeah, cheap
Wow,
asses.
that's a damn chicken coop. He said.
Yeah, that's what it should have been, right? The
Yeah.
barbed wire
Right.
chicken coop match.
Match.
That would have been that
There
would
you
have
go.
got over. All right.
Reb,
Well,
don't get any ideas for our
we
independent.
just gave out ideas
Yeah.
for the next chicken coop match.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Or, I'm sure David's listening, Menders. So
I'm sure he is too. We do another
uh,
podcast for a local independent
Oh,
promotion around here,
now
and
where are you guys out of?
we're in Illinois.
we're
Illinois.
Central
Okay.
We're not
Illinois.
too far.
I'm in Champaign. So
Okay. I've wrestled there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Illinois good state.
Especially when you
Yeah.
figure you have St. Louis south of us and Chicago north of us. So
Yeah.
some
And
real
then
good
Indy
wrestling
too.
Yeah,
towns.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say I have not been drunk in 1 or 2 bars in that area.
Hey, that makes
Because
two
I
of
would be
us.
lying. I'd be lying, and my nose would be growing more. So yeah, good times.
But
Yeah. So I have to ask about something that I heard because again, do my research. I know you don't do a whole lot of podcasts, but I heard the one you did with Francine last year on her
Okay.
show. And she was talking about a story where the Sandman got into a fight with a cab driver, and
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's a statute of limitations thing, then you have to talk about it.
No, I don't remember where the hell that was. She kind of caught me off guard because I killed a lot of brain cells since then. I remember and I see it, but I
uh-huh.
don't remember where it was. Um, we got in a lot of fights, man. I'm telling you right now, we got in a lot of fights. we had a we went into the streets in L.A. Um, and fought fans. We fought fans in the streets of L.A. during our pay-per-view out there. I mean, that's how sick we
Yep.
were. Yeah, Balls
Yep.
started it.
We were
Balls
talking.
Mahoney started it.
Oh, we,
I don't like talking to people that passed away, but Balls Mahoney started it.
oh yeah, we actually talked about that with Justin when he was on.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah,
Heat
we're,
Wave
we're
2000?
going
It
up and
was.
down the streets fighting people, man. Boom, boom, boom. It was fun. It was fun. Carino was in the back
I
getting
re-
sewed up because he was bleeding to death.
Jeez.
And
Oh, I remember
yeah,
that match. Oh,
yeah. I said, Stevie, you're gonna die soon. It was nice knowing you. You're about a pint away from dying. So keep
Jeez.
it going, kid.
Yeah.
that was almost Bill Alfonso level blood from the match
Yeah,
he had with Beulah.
yeah. Alfonso's blood that was a good one. Yep.
Oh, that was scary to watch actually. But yeah, I remember watching that when somebody just reached out and I think they just grabbed Francine and then boom, I see the whole horde of VCW wrestlers coming out of the back and they're just
Yeah,
chasing them
yeah,
out
and
and
we
it's like
we
I wish
chased
there
them
was a
out of the
camera back
building.
there, but
Yeah, nobody went to
because yeah,
jail.
it's like
It was a good good day. It was a good day. Good pay-per-view. Good day. No one went to jail,
well, I love
So
the
who
pay
are
per view.
some of so who are some of your
especially in California. Jesus Christ, could you imagine? Imagine going to jail in California. That shithole.
Oh,
yeah, no
Um.
thanks.
Oh, okay. What was your question? Sorry about that.
You're fine. So who are some of your people to be in the ring against? Like for you to call the matches while you were in there with them?
Oh God, I mean, I called the matches ever since I was a young little pup. So basically 90% of my matches I called, you know.
Was there anybody
Um,
that you when you saw your name was next to them on the sheet, you were like, "All right, cool. I know we can do this pretty fairly easily."
well, out of the respect, because he was such a ring general, Terry Taylor. I let him actually call the matches when we wrestled together, because he was that good. Still,
Yeah.
you know, really good. So I tapped out and let him call the matches,
Oh.
even though most of the time I say I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that either. I ain't doing that. But yeah, we had good matches. Good matches.
Yeah. Go ahead, Red.
so so we talked a lot about the old stuff. I want to get into I know a guy I know you know well, Colby Carino, working in NWA these days. Right now he's the junior champion down there. What have you thought about his work if you've seen it? Yeah, I know
Oh, his
you
work
teamed up with him
is
not long
tremendous.
ago.
Yeah, much better than his daddy. Um, uh, does Carino listen to this?
We don't
Not
know.
not that I'm aware of.
Not that we're aware of.
But no, Kobe. I mean, how many people can say that he started when he was like 3?
Yeah.
You know, basically he was 3 years old, and we beat the crap out of him in the ECW arenas. You know, he was flying off the top ropes at 4 years old. Um, so he had an advantage uh, above everybody. And his work now is amazing. You know, even though it's mostly high flying crap that I don't like and I don't do. You know,
Right.
if
Right.
I can't punch and kick, then screw it. I'm not doing I'm not high flying. My big ass is staying on the ground and punching.
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah, but
Yes.
his work is really good. I'm glad Billy has uh, let him represent him around the country. He's doing a great job. You know.
Yeah, we got actually got Joe Galley coming on with us pretty soon to talk with us. He's the commentator for the NWA, and I
Okay.
think I'm gonna pick his brain about that also. But yeah, it's really cool seeing him work because I remember talking about the match with Jerry Lynn at the pay-per-view. That was the first time I saw Colby on the wrist tape when Carino came out. And
Right.
then Joey Styles made a point to reference him and say who it was, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
couldn't read it because they had blood all over it.
The kid literally grew up in the ECW ring. I mean, he had an advantage of everybody. Uh, he went to Japan. I mean, Steve brought him to Japan. You know, there's tapes of him wrestling over there at 3 and 4 and 6. You know,
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
so yeah, yeah, he had a really cool life.
Yeah. Vendors, did you know that Carino worked for Zero One in Japan?
Oh yeah,
No, I did
yeah.
not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you asked me because I
Oh,
was over there with him.
Oh,
So yeah.
well,
yeah.
01 is the
Or
promotion that's around here. The 01
yeah, Zero
USA
One
is the one that
USA.
we work with.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sure it's different people.
Oh,
Oh
obviously.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
but
It was
going
kind
to
of an offshoot
Japan
of
is
NWA Midwest.
there's such passionate fans, passenger workers over there in Japan. It's good times. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I want to get over there.
Yep.
That's one of my bucket
I've
list
always
things.
wanted to.
I want to go to a match in
Make sure
Japan.
you have a couple sleeping pills for that ride over there.
Oh,
Jesus
I
Oh,
bet.
for
Christ,
sure.
it's brutal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'd love to go to
you got to
Tokyo
take
Dome
a couple
sometime.
gimmicks and a beer. And sleep.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, Jack, I know I promised you about 45, so I'm gonna hold true to that. We got to do a part two sometime. I don't think we've even scratched the surface yet.
Yeah, we haven't even. Yeah, there's so many stories, so many. You know, when you've done it for in and out for 30 years, you shit. A podcast can go for a couple hours, even though we'd bore the crap out of people. But we can definitely talk about some more stories later on.
We'd love
And
Yeah.
to.
hopefully, I'm
And
not in my damn truck.
right. Yeah.
We would
Well, I
love
know
to.
you
We
don't
love
do.
stories from the road. We love that's our
Yes.
favorite part
Love.
of the
Oh
old
my,
of older
yeah,
Absolutely.
days of wrestling.
I have a shit ton of good stories, ECW and other territories. So
I
yeah.
want to hear some
In
more ribs you did on CW because I think that'd
Oh
be a
God,
good time.
you gotta have CW on because I mean, you can literally be 45 minutes of ribs of what we did to him. So if you're interested, I'll let him know and let him reach
Well,
out to you.
please do. Please do. Yeah.
Please
Please
Yeah,
do.
do.
yeah.
Please do.
He's a good
Yes.
guy. So
Yeah.
he'll tell you about the torture.
Perfect. Perfect.
Very nice.
Okay,
Well,
you two.
Jack.
Thank you for
Uh,
inviting me. Okay, I had a blast.
oh
Well,
yeah.
thanks for
Yeah.
coming
We
on.
appreciate it. Yeah. I
Very
know you
cool.
don't do a lot of these, so it means a lot that you came on with us. Really
No,
appreciate it.
I try to keep it to a minimum, but I appreciate when there's two cool people asking me questions. So you live up to that bar. So thank you so much.
Well,
Well,
thank
thank
you
you.
very much.
All right, guys. All right, we'll
All
All
right.
talk
right.
to you soon.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
all right, bye.
Bye. Well, that was fun, wasn't it?
That was fun.
That's a
I
cool
even
guy.
did
Like I
really
said, we
good.
got
I
to.
was proud of myself. I had good
Yeah, you did.
questions.
You did good, Menders. You were right there for the follow-ups, like you promised.
I told you.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks again,
That's what
Jack
I'm here
Victory. And
for.
I guess that's what you're here for. And yeah, now we got to get CW on.
Yeah, we do because
Maybe
I want to
maybe
hear.
have AJ on with us for that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like I said, we haven't even touched the surface with Jack. We didn't even talk about Eddie Gilbert and Dusty Rhodes in that bull rope match with Carino. So
We
we'll have to get him
literally
back on.
touched on Dusty. Like literally went to okay, now we're moving on.
Mhm.
So yeah,
But
we got to get him
yeah,
back on again.
yeah. You know, we got Justin Credible coming back on here next month, Menders. We're gonna have to
I'm so
relay some of the
excited.
information.
So excited.
Yes. But let's get back on. Where do we put the pin in, Menders? I forget what we were talking about.
Well, we put the pin on when I was saying we were talking about Deanna coming
Oh,
back.
Deanna Purrazzo. Yes.
Yes.
And we were
When
talking
she
about if
came
she's
back and
booked right, how she can be an asset to the women's division.
right, which she could be, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. So who was it last week? What was the match? It was Mariah May and what was Queen? It was Queen.
Queen Amidala? Is that? No, that's from
I
Star
love
Wars.
her. Well,
Oh, she was really. I love her character.
she
Very,
was
very
great.
different.
Yeah,
And
Bari made
yeah,
that comment to me today that he says Deanna thinks that the world knows just who she is. Unless
Yeah,
they're
there
watching
was some.
Impact,
There,
they have no idea.
I think she got a big pop because she was in her hometown, which was a big benefit. But yeah, not so many people watch Impact, and I mean they're in for a treat though, because I'm a big fan of Deanna and her work.
I just, like I said, the Queen that faced Mariah May, I was so kind of hoping they were gonna let her go over, but I knew they weren't because it was Mariah
Now
May's.
they're building Mariah May up to.
They're
I'm
building her
assuming they're
up,
going to
and
have her go after Tony.
I wasn't real impressed with her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was nerves. I mean, I've seen some of her work in Japan, and she's very good.
Okay,
But I don't know what the malfunction was there. But I mean, she got a good look. She's not bad on the mic. So
but they're either blonde or brunette, and that's all you get on AEW.
yeah, where are the gingers at?
Or multicolor hair. Hello, I miss Ruby's green hair.
Do you feel attacked?
I do. I feel attacked. I feel unincluded.
Oh,
But no, But did you see who is coming back in the women's division? And I'm super excited.
you got to remind me. I didn't see.
Serena Deeb's coming back.
Oh yes, the professor.
I'm
Man,
so excited. I love Serena.
I thought that she should have been the one to beat Hikaru Shida before, like, thought Britt Baker even beat her the first time.
See, Bari knew who was coming back.
Yeah, Bari knows that. Bari's in the know. And AJ
He is.
New window says Jamie Hayter is almost cleared to wrestle. Should be good to go within the next month. So they're starting to get some of the hands back in the women's division, and not a moment too soon.
No, it's been kind of meh lately. But
I'll tell you, if she's 100%, Statlander and Hayter would be a hell of a match.
yes, but they had
I mean,
other
they're
people.
kinda-
They had other women there that they just didn't want to use, or they
No.
didn't use, like Tyra.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I don't know how long she wanted to be there, though. She might have just been passing through.
well,
But she's still
whatever.
there, technically. I mean, she's doing Ring of Honor, so
Okay, but still,
yeah. We still haven't heard hide nor hair from Britt Baker in several months. Soraya, I'm sorry, I'm checked out on Soraya.
the Fabergé egg.
The Fabergé egg. I mean, she was so good before she got hurt, but it seems like she's gun shy nowadays.
I don't know if she's gun shy or if they just legitimately won't let her do things she really wants to do. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. But then you got Danielson, who's also a Fabergé egg, but
Right.
he's got duct tape all over his shell so he can keep going. And now he's working Sabre Jr. in Japan coming up
Oh, jeez.
next month.
Well, that's another wrestling match, though, so he might be all right. That's not so much
Yeah.
high flying and stupid moves. That's more,
No.
let's go to the mat and see what can get done.
Do we need to talk about Kota Ibushi?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about Kota Ibushi about?
Uh,
What did I
poor
miss
Kota.
that you're now filling me in on?
So Kota Ibushi wrestled Marufuji in Pro Wrestling Noah, and you haven't listened to the drive-thru yet, have you? From this week,
I have not.
they talked about it. Ibushi wrestled Marufuji and somehow injured both of his ankles in one match.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Trying to
Actually, I
do the
knew he injured
moonsault.
both of his. I knew he injured both of his ankles. I knew that.
Oh, Corny had a field day with him. I mean,
Did he?
yeah, just Barry says give Willow a push. I like Willow.
I like Willow too.
She has a catchy theme song, and I dig it.
All right. So what else did we have happen? Oh, they talked to Adam Cole and the devil crap. I'm over it.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yep.
they pretty much just said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to turn Wardlow face eventually," during that promo. Kind of
Basically.
like they're kind of doing a slight rehash of Christian and Luchasaurus.
They're kind of doing a slight rehash of MJF and Wardlow to begin with.
That too. Let's see. AJ says about Soraya. I feel like Soraya was good for the era she was big in, like in the era of Kelly and the Bellas. She was great because she could do a thing or two in the ring, but compared to your Charlotte, Rhea, and Asuka of today, she just doesn't cut the mustard. Yeah.
He's not telling lies.
No, I mean, if she had stayed healthy, she might have. But
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's just
What is he talking
oh
about?
oh no! Don't you bring her up, Bari.
Shut up. Never
You
mind.
can
I know
you
who
can
he's
ask
talking about now.
you can ask Stacy last week during Dynamite when she started talking. Stacy was in the kitchen making dinner, and she just heard me in the room saying, "Please stop talking. Don't let her talk. Please stop talking." Because she is awful. It's Shayna Wayne is proof that wrestling talent is not sexually transmitted.
You're a jerk.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
No,
if
I
Corny would have
can't
said it, you'd
breathe.
be laughing.
I can't breathe.
Oh boy, I'm sorry. And
Oh,
she
you're
looked
gonna
like
make me cry.
Catwoman.
That's great.
Oh jeez. Oh my god.
Okay.
But yeah, her promos are the shit. She doesn't. She just has nothing to offer except for being Nick Wayne's mother.
Exactly.
At least Vicky Guerrero had some natural talent to be a shitty heel. Shayna's only half that, but
Not even half, but okay.
not the good half. Right, Tony? Wait, what's that,
So,
Tony?
oh God. Hi, Tony.
Don't make me get somebody to punch you, Tony. Oh, what? You're strong, Tony?
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, howdy, Tony.
Clayton Clark wears it better.
Oh, I'm making him mad.
He's already mad. What are you talking about? Oh, dear Lord.
I miss this Tony, gentle Tony, not besieged by the stresses of wrestling ownership.
Right?
Barry makes a sound point. She ain't no Shelton Benjamin's mama.
Oh, I know who I was impressed with last week.
Oh yes,
There's a
please.
couple guys. There were a
You
couple
teased
guys I
it
was.
before we went on the air.
I did. There are a couple of guys that I was real impressed with how they've. I don't know if it's necessarily improved or how they've been able to do their own thing. And one of them was Trent Beretta. I was real impressed with him in that 4-way. With
When
he's away from the
Brian
best
Keith,
friends, I like
when he's
him.
serious, yes, when he's
Yes.
serious. When he's not riding in Sue's van or hanging out with Pockets and Chuck Taylor.
Well, Sue was at Collision, but he didn't ride out in the van, and she was just at ringside. So it was nothing. It wasn't anything more than like what FTR did with
I'll
his
tell you
wife
what,
and daughter being there.
yeah.
So
What'd you think
their
of that
Sue did not.
business?
Oh my goodness! It was a good match. It was a very good match.
That was definitely a good match. We've said it. We're high on Malachi and we're high on Buddy. We're high on the whole group, really. It's just
Mm-hmm.
they get a little bit campy with the bells and whistles with the group, but as a whole, I think they're fine.
Well, see, but FTR, if I remember correctly, they've been in the ring with Buddy before. They were with Buddy in NXT because he was
Blake and
with
Murphy,
Blake and
Wesley
Murphy.
Blake.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they kind of those three already knew how to work together
Now,
and had
and
good matches.
when Black came up to the main roster with Ricochet, they worked with FTR too.
Yeah. So
Just clicked.
yeah. So they knew
And
how
then,
to work together. So that made it
yes.
nice.
Yeah. But getting back to Trent though, how hot was the crowd when he threw Danhausen out that battle royal?
Oh my goodness.
They did not like Trent.
They did not like Trent. And then he came in and cursed them. Because Danhausen, there he is. Let's say because Danhausen made was it on Collision?
I'm sorry, I haven't made my point.
Oh dang! But yeah, between him going in and cursing, he cursed Trent Beretta.
Uh-huh.
who was Trent fighting? Why can I not remember this off the top of my head?
In the four-way?
No, not in the 4-way. In the one-on-one. Oh,
Kingston.
Kenny or Kingston. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that Kingston and Beretta was good. I thought Beretta took it seriously, and Kenny. Why do I keep calling him Kenny? Good
Kenny
Lord.
Kingston.
Kenny Kingston. But Eddie, there we go.
Uh-huh.
They just, that's true. That's true. No matter what happens in the ring, Buddy Matthews won at life because he gets to come home to Rhea Ripley. He's got a point. But that was a real good match. And then, of course, the other one was the one I've been high on right now since ROH. The Bounty Hunter.
Brian Keith.
Yes, Brian Keith.
I was hoping
really
he would
high
win
on
that
him.
four-way. I wanted to
was
see
too.
Keith against Kingston.
But then they stuck him in a tag team on Collision with Commander.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Against
He's a bounty hunter. He's a loner.
Yeah. Against
It was the Workhorsemen?
Oh, the United. No,
Oh.
Against Mike Bennett and
Oh, the Kingdom.
Taven, yeah.
Taven, yeah.
Taven. I'll
The
get it right
champs.
eventually. The champs. And it was a match that if they lasted 10 minutes or pinned the champions, then they got a chance at the belts.
The Proving Ground match.
Proving Ground, there you go.
Yeah.
See, I only half
So staple
listened.
of Ring of Honor.
I only half listened.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, does that pretty much cover all of AEW? Okay, take
Pretty
that thing
much.
out of the corner. I don't like it looking over me.
He's watching you.
I know, I don't like it. Creeps me out. Oh, yeah. Hey, Barry made a good point. We kind of touched on this earlier. The Copeland challenge.
Yes. Yeah, Barry, I don't know if you listened to Busted Open, but Copeland was on there today and he was talking about that, how he wanted to start getting in the ring with young guys and really give them time. And the first one was Garrison.
That match was okay. It wasn't.
I mean, it was what it was.
It was what it was. It was the veteran given the. See, that was what I said earlier. I wouldn't mind seeing that either.
Oh,
Bounty Hunter versus Ilya. That'd be fun.
Yes. And I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was.
Got Copeland, Busted Open.
No.
Nope.
I forget. We'll move on.
That thought has left the building.
that thought has flown away. My goodness.
All right, so we covered pretty much everything now at AEW.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, what have you thought of the new TNA Championship belts they've been unveiling all week?
They look awesome.
Wait,
most of them.
Wrong show. I thought I need to save that chat for Bari when we do Gold Rush next time.
Yeah, save that. Save that for Bari. But the ones I've seen so far look nice.
Yeah.
I don't think they're nothing like some of the past ones, but you know.
No, sure. Again, not bad. But not as stylish as this.
Oh, jeez. They're okay. Anyway, so, all right. Oh, we're getting our NXT play-by-play.
Bari's giving the blow-by-blow here. Nikita
Let's
Blair
talk about
NXT
because tonight starts the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
I can't wait to put it on so I can see Bronson and Corbin and Breakker take on Gallus.
I know.
There's your Haas fight.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm here for it.
Yes.
But even the other one, what was it? Exium and Nathan Frazier. And who are they going against?
Hank and Tank.
Oh, that's right. Hank and Tank.
Hank Walker and Tank something or other. Big brawlers. But
I've got my fingers crossed. I'm big on Nathan Frazier, so I
Oh yeah,
got my
we're
fingers
Nathan
crossed.
Frazier fans here. Then I think what's the main event tonight? There's something.
And then
I saw
it's
the whole
Cora,
card earlier.
Cora
Cora,
and
Gigi.
Gigi.
Yeah, I think that's.
And it looks
I don't
like
know if it's the
Nikita
main
and
event, but it
Blair
might
opened
be.
up. So
Yes, glad to see Nikita Lyons back. I'm a fan of her work.
maybe we'll finally get some of the matches we were kind of promised back in the day. But
Maybe.
that was also
That
back when it was pretty 2.0 and not this serious 2.0 that I like.
It was Nickelodeon 2.0, but now
Yeah.
it's back to the black and gold almost.
I'm fine with it being back to the black and gold.
Yes. Yes. I definitely agree with that.
So we got that happening tonight.
Yep.
Well, you want to talk about Raw last night? They have.
Yeah. Hey, if I remember, I think Barry picked NXT for his weekly show of the year for our year in review episode.
He did.
So let's get into Raw, and we got to start at the beginning.
You're gonna have to do SmackDown because I totally missed SmackDown. It's not on one of my things.
I didn't see it either. I know they announced the 4-way for the Rumble, but that's about all I remember. And
I didn't know if Roman said anything. Well, I didn't know if Roman and Paulie said anything about The Rock's comment last week.
If they did, it was early. I have to go back and watch it again. I didn't have time to do my due diligence on the weekly stuff. I was busy cramming for our interview.
Gotcha.
Barry,
we're
going to bring
Barry.
this up. This is the first thing that we saw on Raw was Punk and Drew. Great. I thought it was good.
I did too.
Drew looks and talks like a man.
Yes.
When he cuts his promos.
It's night and day. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna make you think about this. Think about when CM Punk had promos with anybody at AEW except for MJF.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when they tried to go hard on Punk?
Right. And then last night you had Drew McIntyre that legit.
He went hard on Punk.
He went hard on Punk. And it was believable. You kind of thought it could happen. This is what I like.
I'm willing to bet that got discussed before the show was going on. If I know Triple H, she's like, we're not messing this up.
Well, I like the way they did it though. Like made them both leaders in the back and
Punk leads by example.
And then right after, if you think about it, he was right. Drew left not too long after that.
Mm-hmm. And then he
I did
his
like
ass and came back.
That was one of my favorite lines from last night. I want to say congratulations. You've been here a whole month without quitting.
Oh my goodness. But I
don't know. Is it just me or does the younger talent seem to want it more at WWE?
I definitely think so.
Is it just me? Okay.
And they've got the resources to actually get there.
They do. They really do. Because they've got
AEW, they're just working basically a glorified indie show on Wednesday nights.
They are, because everybody's working on their. Well, it seems that everybody's working on their own. Nobody's working.
And they don't listen to the.
They don't have the performance center. Right.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the performance center.
They have an embarrassment of riches with the veterans, but they don't use them.
Very
Which is
true.
something I was going to ask Jack about when we had him on, what he thinks of that. But
you need to start writing all these down so we remember for the next one.
Oh no, I'm going to have to go back and listen to the Just Incredible interview so I know not to ask him the same thing twice when he's back on. All right.
What'd you think? I'm going to bring this up. It's not a highlight, but I'm going to bring it up. What you think of Nia Jax? She's a terrible promo.
She's an awful promo. She's lazy with it.
Very.
Here's my concern, and this goes through a couple of segments last night. Between the the Ciampa Balor match, when Gargano helped Ciampa win, tripped up Balor, and then Rhea coming out and confronting Nia. If they're not careful, they're going to make the Judgment Day baby faces.
Yeah. They are.
except for Dom and JD. Nobody likes them.
Dom can't turn babyface for a while.
No, not until he at least gets a blow off with his dad.
Yeah.
But
Um.
does she mean whole she's over?
She might be over, but I don't know. Every time she
over
comes
her.
on my TV, I only half watch it.
Yeah, I'm inclined sometimes to mute, but I don't.
That's what I do during AEW whenever Excalibur's talking. Although I hate muting
Bari,
because I love listening to Taz.
this is true. Bari, I was about to say this. Truth's tribute to the Judgment Day. I popped so hard. The picture when they were in the sweaters.
And everything was him with the 24/7 title.
I didn't realize how much I missed Truth until he came back.
Right. What was the one? Okay, you talk amongst yourself for a moment. I gotta find it because I think
during the Miz McDonough match afterwards.
You
after
mean
Miz
this
won,
one?
Yeah, that one. But after the match, when when Truth is trying to help Dom up, then all of a sudden Dom recoils and Truth jumps back like 3 feet. It's just the little things that Truth does so well to just get a pop.
Right.
Ordinarily, comedy doesn't have comedy when it's done right is great, but when they're trying too hard, it bothers me.
Yeah.
But Truth always gets it right.
He does. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the other one because there was another picture. I think it might have been on Instagram. Huh?
Is it the baby? Is it the babies?
No, but that baby was. That was funny too.
All right. Should we give spoilers on NXT, Menders? In the
Sure.
All right. I mean, this is going to drop as a podcast on Thursday, but if you're not watching, Blair Davenport went over on Nikita Lyons, according to our eye in the sky, Jabari Sinclair. Not sure how. I would assume not clean because Blair's a dirty heel.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of our Haas fight last night, Menders? Otis and Ivar.
To be honest, I only watched part of it just because I'm kind of over it. We've seen them together so much that I'm ready for them to fight with somebody else.
You know what? They put on a good match though.
Bari scoffed. AJ said good. It was 3 minutes of nothing. Okay.
3 minutes of nothing, he says. Wow.
Okay.
Well, that's the opener, just setting the tone. But I'm trying to think what else we saw. Carter and Chance against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. They did the Yoko Owen spot, which I popped for at the end when they tripped up Chelsea and then she took the big splash.
Yep.
Straight out of the Raw Bowl in 1996.
You know what? I hate to do this, but we're going to jump back to AEW real quick.
Okay.
What did you think of the dance-off between Prince Nana and Daniel Garcia? It was no Devontae Knox. It was no Devontae Knox dance-off.
Let's get a Devontae Nana dance-off.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
David Cavazos, if you're listening to this, book Prince Nana for a 0-1 show against Devontae Knox.
Just so we can get a dance-off.
Let's get the dance-off. Just for the dance-off. You can have him come out and manage Casey Jackson for a night.
Let's throw it out in the universe. Let's throw it out in the universe tomorrow night.
We make things happen, Menders.
Yeah, yes. I know. Let's throw it out in the universe tomorrow night.
Oh my goodness! If I never see Daniel Garcia do that stupid dance again, it'll be too soon.
Hate that dance.
Yeah.
But okay.
Okay. So back to Raw. I'm trying to think what else we saw.
I was excited about Ciampa winning. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't care. I was excited. The Miz and Kaiser. McDonough. That was fun.
That was a good match. Kofi and Kaiser was a good match.
I was just gonna say, what about Kofi and Kaiser's match?
What about the aftermath of that match?
The aftermath was more interesting than the match, but
the match was just a prelude to the story, which was the shenanigans.
The shenanigans.
But Kaiser looked brutal. He looked like a psycho. that
You know,
segment.
this is the difference. Whenever WWE does their, in my opinion, when they do their afterbirth, whatever,
Aftermath. After birth.
that's not what Corny calls it. He calls it the afterbirth.
All placenta wrestling.
Yeah, all placenta wrestling. But whenever they do theirs, it always seems like it's more believable. And I know that's just WWE and AEW differences, but it just feels more believable in my opinion. I don't know.
Because they make it with the army of agents they send out and the referees. They make it seem like they're trying not to have a huge issue.
Right.
But that's nothing compared to what we saw on Thursday, though, Menders. In Edgewood. That
We'll
was the
talk about that
damnedest fight I've
tomorrow.
ever seen in that little building. But we'll talk about that tomorrow on the shootout.
Yeah. I about got ran
Oh my goodness.
over.
We
It
were
was a
in
good
peril.
time.
I almost went to hide in the bathroom, but
I had a chance.
we'll get into more of that tomorrow on the shootout. So yeah, other than that, I mean, we had the Seth Jinder exchange last night, building up that title match next week, which was good. I thought it was a
was
solid
fine.
back and forth.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, that's a repeat of NXT from back in the day.
Yep.
'Cause-
Seth won the inaugural NXT championship from Mahal in that tournament.
Yes. So
The big
I kind of want to go back and watch that just to watch it on Monday again.
Yeah, there you go.
See how different it is. See if they do the same things. But
yeah.
and then of course we had Cody and Shinsuke.
Yes. Now I had no idea until today that Fred Ottman's son was the timekeeper.
I didn't either. Not till AJ informed us.
So that's Cody's cousin, basically. But he got a face full in that match with Nakamura spitting the red stuff. Because every Japanese heel has to have mist.
Right. And I'm excited Cody went over. Right? Isn't that what happened? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was a good way to end a good TV feud.
Yes.
But, yes. My only issue is they called it a street fight, and the wife she asked me a good question. She said, "What's the difference between a street fight and a no DQ match?" And I said, "There isn't one, except they're both in their gear, basically." If they wanted to make it a street fight, and Bully Ray said something similar to this today, you should have had Cody come out in jeans and a t-shirt, Dusty style, and his bunk out the tie, as he used to say.
I agree.
And they should have made it a little bit more. I don't want to say vicious because it's WWE; they don't really do vicious for the most part. But
not on regular TV.
A little rowdier. It wasn't rowdy. It was just wrestling with kendo sticks and tables
and chairs.
You want a street and chairs, but you want a street fight. Look at like when you would see Dusty against Tully in the First Blood match, or anytime that you saw. Back to Dusty and Funk.
Yeah.
The Everybody Somebody in Luckenbach match when he had the T-shirt on.
That we have a T-shirt now too. I'm excited about it.
We have made an homage for the 01 shootout to that T-shirt. Everybody Somebody in Edgewood, available on brainbustertees.com. But yeah, it was a good match for what it was. Like I said, Shinsuke and Cody wasn't going to be a pay-per-view feud. It was a good TV feud to get Cody to the Rumble. And now
see, and that's what I think Jinder and Seth is right now. Is let's just get to the Rumble.
I agree. Yeah, pretty much. Because I don't think they've even announced Seth for a match at the Rumble yet. We still got 2 weeks, and they haven't announced the number one contender
haven't
yet.
But here's my question: who would it be?
See, that is the question. That's a good question. Can't do Drew again.
You can't do Drew.
He's lost like 3 times.
You can't do Punk.
Can't do Punk. Can't do Shin. He's already had his shots.
I
don't know. Ivar.
I mean, who do you logically put in that?
You know who I would like to see it be, and this is completely honest. Bronson Reed.
Yeah. But again,
give
me right now. Yeah, but where he's at right now, is he even? Well, is he going to be in the Rumble though?
Well, it's wishful thinking. I know it's wishful thinking. That's
Yeah,
a matchup I
I'm
want to
just
see at
trying.
some point.
Well, I think
Bronson will probably
eventually.
be in the Rumble because you got to have those big guys in the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Barry says there's no match for Seth. He will be in the Elimination Chamber defending. So.
What? Hang
no
on.
match for
I
Seth.
thought
He will be
no,
in.
no, no. I got that.
Oh.
I thought the Chamber match was going to be a number one contendership match for whatever title doesn't get picked for the Rumble.
Mm.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But
Yeah.
maybe they'll do two matches. You never know.
Well, there's going to be a women's and a men's, so we know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah. I miss the days when they had a tag team chamber match.
No. Would you want to be stuck in that itty bitty thing with somebody else?
Imagine Gable and Otis in one pod.
Right?
God forbid Otis gets gas. I think I just popped the wife. She's cringing in the background.
You probably did. All right, Reb, we're coming up on 10 minutes until an hour and a half.
Okay. Well, one more thing I want to mention before we get into our top 10. Wrestle Kingdom last week on Thursday. Did you get a chance to see this at all?
I did not.
As usual, fantastic
You didn't tell me
show.
to watch it.
That's true. Plus, I would have had to give you my password.
Yeah.
But
so
Wrestle Kingdom is always a good show. A bunch of guys I know you've never heard of, Menders, in there.
That's New Japan, right?
New Japan, yes.
Okay.
But what I want to talk about is the next day. Oh, yeah. All three members of the New Day were in one pod in the tag team chamber match. This is true. But anyway, so every year on the 4th, they do Wrestle Kingdom. On the 5th, they do New Year's Dash. It's like their follow-up show to start building the new rivalries going forward.
Mm-hmm.
And Bullet Club is starting to go the NWO route in WCW. There's like 4 different split teams within the Bullet Club.
Okay, which ones do they still have? Because I remember some of them.
Okay, so they got the House of Torture, which is Evil, Takahashi, Dick Togo, guys like that. You got the regular Bullet Club, which is your, I guess, Kenta, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, some of those guys. And then you have the War Dogs, which is basically David Finley, Fit Finley's son, and a bunch of the dojo students from LA, like the LA dojo.
So they don't have the villains anymore.
Who?
With Marty Skrull and
all
all them.
No, he left with the Elite, and then he got Me Too'd, so he's not involved with them anymore. Yeah, because originally it was just Bullet Club and the Elite was all it was.
Right.
But then after the Elite left, then it was Bullet Club. Then they split off the House of Torture, and then they added War Dogs most recently, and that's David Finley who won the title from Ospreay and Moxley at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
And Clark Connors is a member of the War Dogs. You are right, AJ. And they had a 5-on-5 tag match with United Empire on New Year's Dash, which is Will Ospreay's group in Japan.
Right.
Basically, it just got thrown out. It was just huge brawl, blood. It looked, you know what, you may scoff. It looked really good how they set this up. And the setup is to get to February 11th, which is Ospreay's last match in New Japan before he goes to AEW.
Gotcha.
So they're actually going to do a 10-man steel cage match, 5-on-5, which they never do in New Japan. So this is something new for them. But
just hearing all the gimmicks and going, oh my gosh. A hat on a hat on a hat.
It's still not you want hat on a hat. It's not as bad as DiBiase and Duggan in 83. Okay. That was steel cage, loser leaves town, coal miner's glove, tuxedo match, no holds barred. All in one match.
Gotcha. All in one match.
So, all in one match. But anyway, so that's something that I'm looking forward to for February from New Japan. They got that's also where they're doing Danielson and Sabre that month on that tour. So let's see what goes on there.
Were we talking about that on air, or was that before air? Yeah, we talked about that on air. About Danielson. Yeah.
Yeah. The Fabergé egg with duct tape on them.
Fabergé, yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, Menders, what do you say we get into our first Top 10 Tuesday of 2024?
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, here we go. I gotta make the video longer so I can hear more of the song. It's so good.
I just had a thought.
Oh,
Can we get Shane Douglas to do his number when we go to the expo?
to get a picture of him doing the thing. That'd be cool. Maybe.
That would be cool. I'll pay for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, after top 10, we gotta. Do we have an update
we
for guest announcements
Yep.
for the expo?
I'll get an update and see what we got.
All right. All right. Well, in the meantime, top 10 Tuesday, first time of 2024. As you know, we're doing this every other week instead of doing every episode. But our topic today came from a post that came up last week that Dwayne kind of got on my nerves about. And he said that Gordon Solie
Where is
was
Dwayne
better than
tonight?
Jim Ross.
Why is Dwayne not
I
here?
don't know. I don't know. But anyway, our topic today is going to be best play-by-play announcers. Again, purely subjective, as we all know. A couple of modern fellows, but most of these guys are from the good old days of back
You're
in
doing
the day
play by
there.
play,
So,
not color, correct?
not color. Yeah.
Okay.
So there will be no Jesse Ventura. There will be no Bobby Heenan. Although next episode we do this, we may have to do best color analyst.
Yeah, let's do that because I like the color announcers.
Because they're colorful.
Yeah, because they're very colorful. I love their
All right.
opinions. I love their takes.
Yes, especially the heels.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into the list here, Bender. Starting with number 10, one of the only announcers in AEW that I can tolerate. Kevin Kelly, I got number 10. I'm a fan going back. I mean, I liked him in WWF, but when he went to Ring of Honor is when I really grew to really appreciate his work as an analyst, as an announcer. And then he moved on to New Japan. Now he's in AEW doing Collision. And yeah, he's has a knack for calling it like a sport. You know what I mean?
Does.
Like
he does. And like I said, he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, him and McGuinness make a good team. He and Carino were a great team in Ring of Honor back in the day. And even him with Don Callis in New Japan was a good combo. So that's why I think he is deserving of a number 10 spot. My number 9 might get me in some trouble, Menders. I'm dreading the backlash.
Are you? You're going to get in trouble by me, though?
By I don't know who, but somebody's going to be pissed. But I don't care because I stand by my choice. Number 9, I'm going Gorilla Monsoon.
Ooh, okay, that is a little low.
I'm sorry. I mean,
it's a little low.
Despite his encyclopedic knowledge of the human anatomy, you know, I never knew what an external occipital protuberance was until I watched Gorilla Monsoon. He was such. I mean, and I know it's a weird take, but he was so biased. Jesse would give him a well-reasoned explanation, and then Gorilla would say he was full of crap because the babyface wasn't winning.
Right.
Okay, Jabari says should be higher, but I'll accept it.
AJ says Gorilla that low. He's got a whole backstage position named after him.
I've got all the respect in the world for Gorilla Monsoon, but just not as an announcer.
I will forgive you.
All right. Number 8 might also get me in a little bit of trouble, but I stand by it, and I'm a fan of this guy, Joey Styles, ECW.
Okay.
He gets a lot of credit for the most part doing it by himself, without a color guy, except for on pay-per-views.
Right.
And he was kind of the normal presence in just a complete fucking madhouse that was ECW.
That's the truth.
Yes. And he knew his shit, he knew the holds, he knew the stories. He got a little bit amped up sometimes, especially when there were two ladies fighting in the ring. But
wonder why.
Yeah, well, he was a young man, he was in his 20s during ECWs, so, it'd be like if, I don't know, I'm not going to name any names, but there's plenty of young fellas in our little wrestling circle that would probably be the same.
You think?
I don't know. But no, so Joey's my number 8. Number 7 is uh it's no secret I've been watching a lot of World Class lately,
Hmm.
and not because of the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I got Bill Mercer at number 7. He was the TV host and announcer for the Sportatorium shows in Dallas. Uh, Mark Lawrence was the ring announcer, but he would do the shows in Fort Worth. But Bill Mercer called all the big matches, like all the big angles and everything, and it did it very well, very straight laced, kind of like how a Bob Caudle or Gordon Soley would do it. So
Right.
I got him on here. Speaking of number 6, I got Bob Caudle,
Rob
the
Cottle.
voice of Jim
Okay.
Crockett Promotions.
Yep.
He was also Gordon Soley's co-host on Starcades in the early days. He did color for Jim Ross in like the late '80s in NWA. I think not he wasn't involved in the I Quit match, Funk and Flair. That was actually Ross and Soley, but a lot of those big shows, Bob was involved. So and still kicking. He's in his 90s now.
Oh, geez.
It, yeah. If he if I was confident he could stay awake at this hour and operate a computer, I'd love to have him on the podcast. And I'm not saying that to be funny.
Wait, where does he live?
North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, it'd be later for him too. So
Yeah. But he is on my bucket list of guys I want to meet.
Bob Cottle
Oh,
didn't know
Bari.
what's going on half the time.
Also, by the way, he did commentary on Smoky Mountain Wrestling Menders.
Yay! I like Smoky Mountain.
Corny.
Corny.
All right. Number 5. I know he's current, but I'm more recognizing him for his work in the past. Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, not a shit
Look at that.
now.
Look at that handsome devil.
He was a lot better back in the day.
He was. I really enjoyed his. He was saddled with David Crockett on color, but I always thought he did a fine job in NWA, and even when he went to WWF in '89, he did SummerSlam with Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Yep.
But now he
in
sucks.
Now he's just a shill. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know what? We say that.
He's just
but
there
how
to
do
yell
we know?
Sting!
Well, and how do we know though that he wouldn't be better if he was in that play-by-play position?
You never know.
Because right now he's playing a part as the third.
He's the third banana right now on Dynamite.
He's the third banana. So
and there's only one banana worth their salt in that commentary team, and that's Taz.
Yes, and that's Taz. And
there's 2 when Jim Ross jumps in.
Yeah, when he's having a good day.
Yes. All right. We're doing something we don't usually do, Menders. Tony was number 5. I have a 5A. So
you have a 5A.
Yeah.
So we have 11 technically. It's our top 11.
5A. Tony Schiavone's mustache.
Okay.
Look at that tickler he's got going on there. He's offering all the front row ladies a mustache ride.
Oh, jeez.
Stacy just winced.
And did she? I'm glad.
Oh yeah. She recoils at the thought of anyone giving a mustache ride.
Okay.
All the juices, she says.
Let's move on before this gets any more demonic. Demonic? That's not the word, but you know what I mean.
Fair enough. She just doesn't want to think about certain people doing it.
Ah, okay.
All right. Number 4. 10 years ago, he would not have been this high on my list, but I got to put him up here. Michael Cole.
You know, he has grown leaps and bounds from what he was.
He really has. I think it helps that he doesn't have Vince in his ear.
I think it does too. Because I've actually enjoyed listening to him in the past, 6 months?
I'll even go a year.
Is it a year that Vince has been gone?
It's been a year. It's been about a year and a half.
Hasn't quite been a year yet. Okay.
It's been about a year and a half since Hunter took over creative.
But ever since, as soon as Vince got out of his ear, I've actually not hated Cole. So
Yeah. AJ makes a point. That was his pick for play-by-play guy of the year in our year
it
in review.
was. He had
But
Cole.
yeah,
the rest of us had Kevin Kelly, and you have him at 10. What the hell?
I'm sorry, but still. All right. All right. Number 3. Going to Memphis. Lance Russell.
Nah, Lance Russell.
Yes. Very deadpan delivery, but man, he was good.
For play-by-play, you have to be deadpan. I mean, you really do.
For the most,
you can't have emotion.
Not necessarily. My number 1 might argue with that, but anyway, Lance Russell. Whenever I think of Lance, I think of when Terry Funk was asking if he was a sissy in an interview. Are you a sissy, Lance? That's what he would say. And then Lance would just say, "No, I am not."
No.
Oh man, Lance was so good. He was basically the host of Memphis Wrestling for as long as I can think, going back to the 70s. But yeah, very good. If you get a chance to check out some Memphis stuff, you can really get a taste of that, especially the Kaufman-Lawler feud in '82.
Yeah.
Yes,
I watched a lot of it when I went back and watched a lot of it when the Tales of the Territories came out. And they had the one that was pretty much dedicated to Andy and Jerry. So, yeah. That was
Yes. All right. Number 2, this 1 and 2 is pretty much obvious. It's just a question of who's number 1, who's number 2.
Where's Excalibur?
I got he's hopefully watching the show and seeing who to study. But no, my number 2, I got the Dean of Wrestling Announcers, Gordon Solie.
There you go. Yep.
He was the voice of 3 different territories, pretty much: Florida, Georgia, and then the big shows in the Carolinas. And you talked about Lance Russell being deadpan. Gordon Solie was the king of the deadpan. He could get excited when he wanted to be, but for the most part, not so much. And he was like, when somebody hit somebody really hard.
Yeah.
And but really he was so knowledgeable, and he was kind of, the fans saw Gordon as like the trusted voice of the territories he worked for. Like when Vince took the Georgia time slot in '84, fans recoiled because Gordon Solie wasn't there.
Well, so basically,
a cigarette and a souffle. Souffle, yeah. Yeah, Gordon called it a vertical souffle instead of a suplex.
Vertical souffle. All right. But I mean, if you think about it, I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority, but I think our generation, I always think of JR. If you're just the casual fan, and casual fans been watching for a while that doesn't go back and watch all the territories and stuff, to me, JR was the trusted voice. He was always the trusted voice.
I agree. And the thing that
Did I
bothers me
just
is
jump
that
the gun?
Gordon. No, you're fine. But
Okay.
the thing that bothers me is if Gordon Solie was active today, I don't think he would get the credit he is owed, just because of his style.
Yeah.
Like all the internet jackasses would be like, he sucks. He's not. He doesn't get excited, or just all that bullcrap.
Sometimes it doesn't call for it. I don't get it.
No, that's right. You gotta escalate, and that leads me to my number 1 because he was the best at that.
There he is.
JTR Hall of Famer Jim Ross, number 1, with a bullet.
He is dead. My God, killed him.
The greatest individual one-liners I can think of. You talked about that one. I sent you guys a link to the one that I thought of, which is when Eddie Gilbert buried Bill Watts under the Russian flag. Jim Ross was losing his shit on commentary.
Yeah.
I
said, but for the most part, he was always stayed neutral.
Yeah.
But he would get excited about the things that were happening.
Yeah. You should go back to 2001 when Triple H came back and cost Steve Austin the title against Kurt Angle. Because I think it was
which one is that? When?
January on Raw, in January of 2001.
January on Raw, okay.
Yeah, look up the episode where Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle.
I'm sure I've probably seen it, but
I'm sure you have. I might even put a link up on the Facebook page.
There you go.
Just Jim Ross is like yelling at Triple H from an unsafe distance.
A safe distance.
Yeah, it's just great. Uh, I can't say enough good things about Jim Ross. Uh, I, I I know it probably won't happen. I hope he comes to the expo. If Jerry Lawler is going to be there, I would love to see Jim Ross there. Maybe a photo op would
Get
be in
them both
order.
together and on a panel. Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, Jim Ross could be a panel in and of himself.
He could. He could. I'm planning on hitting a lot more of the panels this year. That's my plan this year.
That's seriously my favorite part of the expo every year is the panels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool going around meeting all the stars, but
If you
get
got
the
enough money to
stories
do
at the
it.
panels. Yeah. I mean, it don't cost you anything to meet the people. It's just about if you want to get an autograph or a picture.
And I
But
always
the
want to get an
panels, that's
autograph and a picture.
well, yeah. But the panels is where you get the stories,
Yeah.
which is
Man,
it's like
the
you said to Jack
ECW.
Victor, we love road stories.
Oh yeah. Well, like the ECW panel they had the last year with
Yeah. It
Sandman,
was Sandman, Rhino, Nova, Beanie, and
Shane,
Francine. Yeah, and Shane.
Shane and
Francine
Nova.
was there. Yeah.
Nova.
Yes.
That was a good time.
Yeah, it was a very good time. We're looking forward to April. Oh, I'm sorry, March. I keep thinking it's in April. Yes. But speaking of which, Menders, we're talking about the Squared Circle Expo. Do you have an updated list of appearances?
I do. We have 3 more.
Okay. You don't have to go through the whole list this time.
I'm
just
not
maybe
going
new
to.
ones.
I just went with what the last. I think it's 3 more. Because I did pull up the whole thing and then I was like, no, we're not doing that again.
We don't have that kind of time, Menders.
Right. Well, okay. So Friday only. We're gonna have Juventud Guerrero.
Hey, the Juice Guerrera with an A.
Yep. Sorry.
The Juice.
What did I say, Guerrero? I'm sorry.
You said Guerrero. That's all right.
Sorry. And then we've got. God, I want to call him what Corny calls him, but I can't. Ray Phoenix.
But that means that Pentagon has to be there too, right?
Exactly. That's the next one, honestly.
Penthouse and Felix.
Penta El Om is how they're putting it.
Penta El Cerro Miedo.
And apparently they're not on Collision because they're both there only on Saturday.
Ah, I see. They'll be on Rampage. So does that mean Alex Abrahantes will be there also?
If he is, fine. If he's not, that's fine too.
Yeah, he seems like he's like the official manager of every Mexican star that Tony has.
That's my thought too. I'm not gonna lie.
He's starting his own version of the LWO.
Yeah, but you know what? With as many as they've already announced, there's a lot. There's a lot.
There's talk that there's more coming around Rumble time.
There is still more coming, and we might get them earlier. They said, if they hit a certain amount of followers.
Yes, all I'm saying, I just hope for this guy,
Danhausen. I wouldn't be surprised if he. I don't know though. Isn't he on Collision? Because he only did Saturday last year. He wasn't there Friday. Remember, he was late.
Well, he could be Friday only.
He could be. They're currently about 300 followers shy of 25,000 on Facebook. If they can hit 25K before the Royal Rumble, we'll drop a couple of bonus announcements we were previously saving until then.
Okay.
I was looking to see if they said, because I knew they posted up last week. How many of the courtesy update? Saturday single day passes are now officially 35% sold out through our website. To put things into further perspective, with 3 months to go until the expo, we have already sold more tickets than we had last year when we were 2 months out from the event. Do with that info what you will, but we would certainly make plans to snag those tickets sooner rather than later. And I think at one point they'd even said that they only had like 9 of the main event passes left.
Yes, it's getting tight. I'm glad we got ours.
We got ours on like.
It was like it was first day.
Yeah, we did.
Although I did. I'm a schmuck. We didn't agree to do the 4-pack.
I know. Next year, that's what we're doing.
Next year, yes.
We're
will do
doing the
that.
4-pack.
Yes. All right, but that's like I think that's our favorite weekend of the year is going to the expo in Indianapolis.
Well, and then plus I know ones they haven't announced that aren't as big as those people. I know Jake Oman's going to be there.
Mhm.
I think Jack Vaughn's going to be there.
I
always look forward to seeing who the and other wrestlers are going to be. The
at the
indie
actual wrestling
wrestlers.
shows.
Yeah.
Are they
I
doing
have a
shows on
feeling
Friday and Saturday again?
I'm assuming so.
Saw some of our 0-1 faves last year. Shots McKenzie for one, Davey Vega.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Cole
your
Radrick was there.
faves. Cole was
Well,
there. I wouldn't be surprised if Cole's not there again.
hey, are you concerned that we mentioned Matt Fitchett on the shootout last week, and that since we make things happen, we're going to get besties in the world back again,
I hope so.
just so they can hear the music?
I want to hear the music. I want to do the moves. You don't understand. Like,
I miss seeing Matt Fitchett though. He's a talented cat.
he is. He's very talented.
Even though
Although
he
I
took
have other names for him.
Yeah, because he took Jimmy Carrott's junior heavyweight championship from him.
He did. That was. Are you ready for this? That was the same night as another match that took the shine from Carrot and Fitchett. It was the same night as the Jake Lander Conley Mad Dog Conley match with the chairs.
Oh.
It was the same night that Conley bled everywhere. In fact, it was the match
AJ,
right before.
I'm not putting this comment up, AJ. Ridiculous.
He knows me too well.
I knew where you were going too. I just wasn't going to say it.
But yeah, that was the same night that Carrot lost the junior heavyweight. Was the night that Lander had people throwing chairs into the ring and busted open Conley.
Oh.
And it was the match right before. So everybody was emotionally exhausted, and some people had walked out because there was too much blood. So some people didn't even get to see the Fitchett and Carrot match.
They almost killed the town.
Yeah, they didn't kill the town. But
No.
No.
That tune is unkillable.
Kind of. We killed Champagne once. Well, we didn't. A friend of ours did. We kind of had a problem there.
Yeah.
Don't throw a water bottle at Cody Lang. That's bad. That's bad juju. Although that was the first time I saw Ace Perry, so.
All right. Well, what do you say we pay some bills here, Menders, that we can get out of here?
Let's do that. We're actually not too bad on time.
Yeah.
Barry, what's been happening on NXT while he's paying bills?
Hey, real quick, we have some new shirts on Brainbuster Tees that I haven't been able to put into the video, our little commercial that I put up.
Okay.
It's the Hoots and Judy's collection on BrainbusterTees.com. There you see all the Hoots and Judy's Love the Jumping the Rail podcast right there.
Hey,
and then if you're a good Hoot, you get the Good Hoot shirt. If you're a good Judy, you can get the Good Judy shirt. And yeah, so
I'm waiting until all of us have those and all 5 of us show up with the Good Hoot and Good Judy shirts on.
Oh my goodness.
We should go to hybrid, Justin. Oh, I figured that. Corbin and Breaker advanced.
I kind of figured as much. I bet it wasn't easy though.
I bet it wasn't either.
Fuck out of each other. All right, well, let's get to the bulk of the bills here, Menders. So here we go. Very nice. And before we get out of here, we've got got AJ in my ear on the Facebook Messenger there. Uh, next
Oh,
tomorrow.
hold on.
So
I want to
tomorrow
see.
we're going to be doing a YouTube bonus episode. It'll still drop as a podcast, but we're doing this tomorrow night after the 0-1 shootout. I will be joined by the voice of the NWA, Joe Galley, on right here on StreamYard here. So make sure you check that out. It's no Menders tomorrow. It's just going to be me, but I'm looking forward to it. Joe's a good guy. He was a good guest the last time he was with us, so we're looking forward to that. And then
Yeah, check and see if Narge can get on with you.
Yeah, Narge wasn't actually with us the last time.
Oh, he wasn't?
That might have been a Kyle Reed episode. I got to go back and look. But,
it could be Kyle. It could have been a Kyle.
Yeah. But let's
now
see.
That you say that.
Yes. So after Joe, the next week we have, and I'm sure I have the graphic handy. Here we go. One of our favorite Menders from the St. Louis area is going to be joining us. It was a
Mindy get.
It was a Mindy get. Yeah, you did a good job. You got this fella here, one Mike Outlaw from Glory Pro Wrestling from St. Louis Anarchy, 0-1. Really good talent. He's one of those bruisers that you don't really want to mess with. He's in that Sir territory, Menders.
Between him and Camaro back in COVID days, holy crap. They kicked the living shit out of each other.
Yes. All right. So Mike is going to be with us next Tuesday. The week after that, on the 23rd, we're going to be doing our Hogan Sheik watch along on the anniversary of the big title match in Madison Square Garden.
Is it the week after that I'm super excited?
No. The week after that, the 30th, we'll be joined by the Gigolo Josh Vallon from the Carolinas.
Oh yeah, that's right. You need to send me stuff on him.
Yeah.
Then we get to find out why Tony Khan is killing Zach.
No. Not so fast. The week after Josh, on the 6th of February, we got Stamp Stackhouse returning.
Yes.
And then after that, Menders, on the 13th, we're going to have Zach Ruber with us. And he's going to finally fill us in on
February.
It's going to be a fun month. But we're going to finally find out what the heck Zach was talking about with
I know, I'm so excited.
I'm on pins and needles. And then on the 20th of February, we're going to have part 2 with Justin Credible. He's coming back. Very excited. And then that's all we have booked guest-wise through February. In April, of course, we'll be doing the Mulkey Cup Tag Team Invitational Fantasy Tag Team Tournament. Look at that beautiful trophy that we're giving to no one. It's just purely decorative. And then, hopefully sometime in March we'll be able to get Heather Owens back on, talk about the Expo a little bit more. And then, then we got, of course, WrestleMania season's coming up. We got to talk about the Rumble, all kinds of stuff to talk about. So make sure you hang out with us.
We need to get Camaro on to talk about the Forge, like straight up talk about the Forge and a lot of his stuff too.
We can do that. Hey, Camaro was a good guest last time. Yeah. We can get him back.
Well, he's been on both of our podcasts. I think he's one of the only ones. There's 2.
Him and Rain. And Marvin.
And Marvin.
The former Low Life Thug, former 0-1 USA Heavyweight Champion Marvin Moser. The guy who I led to championship glory.
Yep. That.
But
all that. And now he's in a team called Unbelievable.
I made something as a time saver, Menders.
Yeah, I saw that. The 4 faces of Khan.
Yes. Well, Menders, I think that's a good time for us to get out of here. Right under the 2-hour mark, which is pretty good for us, actually.
Yep. Especially with a guest. I mean, you never know how long that's going to go, and so we did good.
That's true. Yes, and our thanks again to Jack Victory for
very much
joining us today. Very cool.
Can't wait to have him on again.
And yes. And until next Tuesday. Well, actually, you know what? Until tomorrow evening about 8 o'clock with Joe Galley. For Menders, this is Rev. Reminding you all, life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, guys.